This all is, did it work or not? Run this. See, it is because I am not logging in as system admin. That's the reason it is giving error. So what I'll do, I'll log in as system admin and then I can give it. For example, see here. All programs. Where is my Express Edition run SQL command line? So here in this case, what I will do is first connect system. I have forgotten the password actually. Now connect system. See, Ford is working, but I told you na, I have forgotten my password. System, I set it some password. See now, connect. I have given Amar. Password is Amar. I'll give create table am name where char 2 of 10. You can see here insufficient privileges. So I have to give that grant admin, or I have to give all privileges. So then only you can create it. So log in system admin, and then what you do is you execute this grant connect to Amar, grant all to Amar, grant admin to Amar. You can see here it's a keyword Amar admin. If I give this now from here, you can see here Fusion does not have to give it. The role does not exist. I don't have that privileges actually. That's the reason. Okay, so you have to log in system and do it. Is this clear, friends? The first part. Any queries? For all your projects you need to have. And next what you do is go to the SQL worksheet. I have given you the DB script. Open this DB script. So I told you these are the two tables we would be using it in an entire classes. So what you do, see I have only two tables. One is department and employees table. What are these? Insert statements, table, insert statements, and what you do, just copy it. Don't worry now. Copy it, and where you execute it in the SQL worksheet. So paste it here and execute this. So all your tables, everything will get created. So this finishes the first part.
I wanted to know what is the funda behind creating the new user SQL?
Fine. What is the funda behind? Why do you want to create new user? Why? Question back to you.
Why we need?
Not in ADF. See, actually, basically, why I am telling you to create a new user is so that, see, you have system and admin already. You have system schema. When you log in for manager, you will get it right system. You can use that. But the best practice is you don't require all the DBA privileges. You can create tables there itself in system. You don't require all the DBA privileges. So what you do is always the practice is create a user, giving some roles, privileges, giving some roles, giving some privileges, and tell him to work on that. See, in a company, when you say there are some people, this is the data, this is the schema. User is nothing but a schema. In that schema, okay, so for that schema, some people, what happens, they'll have only read privilege. Some people, they have read and write privilege. Okay, so that's the reason I'm telling you to create a new user. So if you create a new user, what I'm telling you is in the Fusion application, whatever the tables you create, it will be there in that your new user application. Now you have created only 2 tables, right? So it will be there in your this one. Sometimes what happens is like you'll have Scott Tiger. User ID is Scott and Tiger. Hundreds of people will log in. Okay, so sorry, one person only can log in with Scott Tiger. Okay, but if you give it, if many people are utilizing the same this one, you will create some tables, other people will create some tables, other people will create some tables, and it will become a dump yard wherein which you have thousands of tables. So it's better create your own user ID passwords and have your own tables. Okay, now okay, we have seen this, friends, DB script. See, this makes your project easy. Create a user and put the tables there and try to use it in your project. See, while connecting, how I am connecting? I am giving pod and fusion. Okay. Next one. After this, we have finished day 5 part. One is database, and the second one is associations, and the third one is we have parameterized queries, and the fourth one is creating the views from many objects. First we will see, instead of associations, we will see what are parameterized queries. Friends, we will see what are parameterized queries. What do you mean by parameterized queries? You don't want the query to execute statically all the times. For example, if I give select star from employees where salary greater than 10,000, what is happening, friends? Always salary is greater than 1,000 rupees. I don't want this to happen. Sometimes next time it will happen, user changes its mind, gives the salary 2,500. I have to hard code this value. Next he will change it 1 lakh. I have to hard code this value. I don't want to hard code my value here. I want to pass this value as a parameter so that I will not touch my SQL again and again. So that time we require parameterized queries. How I will write is, how to write queries. 1. Select star from employees where sal. What you will do, friends? We need to go for a variable. What variable, Vijaya? Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. So that parameter, we have a term for that parameter here. You may know it, but remember this term. The term is called as bind variable. Remember this term. I think the same term is used which in Oracle forms also. Okay. So we use something called as, I'll call it as any this one. I'll call it as bind sal. Okay. This is called as, you need to remember the term. What are bind variables? Okay, to execute the query dynamically, we make use of this bind variables. Now, how to execute this bind variables? How to write a dynamic query? We will see it now. So, now we will see how to write. So, this is what? How to write parameterized. Instead of queries now, it will be parameterized views. Because when you take the analogy, this queries to the ADF. The queries in ADF are represented by views. In database, they are queries. So I call it as parameterized queries. But it comes to the ADF, I call it as parameterized views. They don't call you. They don't ask you, explain me what are parameterized queries. They'll ask you what are parameterized views. So here instead of table, what you will have, instead of tables, you will have entity object where sal greater than bind variable. Now let us implement it. See, I'll be using this one, this methodology. See, I'm not going through slides. Okay, so I'm just using some, I'll just use it like this itself. So you have concept, and next is implementation in ADF. So how to implement this in ADF? So going to implementation, first one, see here, first of all, I don't have any views itself here. So how to create business object, business components? New, I'll not tell this one, friends. I'll directly go with it. See here, these are all the connections I have. I'm showing you different methods. See, previously I created like this new, it was asking me database connection. But if you want to reuse some of the connection what you have, see, these are all the connections I have. So which connection we created now? Database. This is the one I created, but see, application one, there is a connection one. But here in this case, class 5 theory database, we can add a new connection directly here itself. Now I'm adding connection 1 for fusion. There's the connection. Okay, you can add it connection here also. Okay, now see here, new business objects. It is automatically taking. Previously it was not taking. Okay. Employees, departments, take all the objects. Next. Do you want query based objects? No. Next, I want an app model. Okay, finish. Let me close this database navigator, and you can see my model all created. Now view, it has got two things. One is employee and other one is department. I'll not explain it once again. So this employees, go to this employees view. So you have some features, general entity objects, attributes, business rules, query, Java, view accessor, list UI, ends UI, categories. Go to query. By default, know what you have. The query is selecting all the attributes and all the tuples from the table. But I want to customize this one and tell that salary, select the tuples records whose salary is greater than 1 lakh or something. So what I will do, I will go to this query. There is a pen here. Click on this. As it is 4GL, you need not write the SQL query. You can choose here the expert mode. Okay, you can choose here expert mode. So it will, previously what was happening in the normal mode, it is darkened, it is read only, non-editable. Now go to expert mode. In the expert mode, I don't want to write the query. So what I will do, I'll go to query builder. So in the query builder, it is asking me, boss, tell me which object you want to pick me first. If you don't want to pick objects here, go to from class directly. The selected one is employee EVO because already view is present. The view is on employee table, employee entity object. Now select class. You want all the fields. Let it be where clause. In the where clause, what you want, where salary greater than equal to, see here, I'll write find variable. I'll use greater than equal to bind variable. Next, I'll go to group by clause. Major mistakes people will get struggling here is somewhere here they'll give some one extra space. Oh, it's working. So here it's automatically taken. Okay, the previous version, okay, when we are working on the project, if you don't give an extra space here, it will hang, means it will not continue further, it will give an error message. So don't worry now. So employee CO sal is greater than equal to bind variable. Do you want to do group by? No. Having no. Connect by class? No. Now what is my bind variable? Bind var. Shall I change to bind sal? It's much readable. Next I have to declare that bind variable here. I'll call this one as bind var. What is the type, Nitesh? Is it string? Salary is string. Sorry. This is sal. And what is the type of it? Number. Choose the type as number. And next, you can see your entire SQL query. In this SQL query, the one important thing you need to know is this: all these attributes you are selecting from entity object, not from table, because it's a view. View acts on entity object, not on table. This is an entity object. Now where employee evo.salary greater than bind sal. You want to check the syntax, check it. No errors found. Test the query, it will test it. Query executed successfully, no errors found. Now next one, okay, and next I'll give apply. Okay, so now you can see here, this is your parameterized view. Automatically when you create a parameterized view with the bind variable, you can see in the bind variable section, bind variable has got created. Is it fine? You didn't create the bind variable here, right? You created in the query. It got automatically created in the bind variable section. And next what I will do, I will go to my app module. In the app module, what I will do, I will run this application module. Now, which was my table, friends? Don't worry, this view links and all, we will see it later. Automatically it is creating. Which is my table? Employees is my table. Now, if I double click on this employees, automatically it is asking me enter the bind variable. You have chosen that. This query I cannot execute it unless and until you are giving me the bind variable. So I'll give it as 1000. I'll click OK. Now you can see all the records which matches that. See here, salary is greater than 1000 for all the people. The same thing now, I'll re-execute. Okay. I will give show in table. It is asking me the bind variable. I'll give it as 25,000. So let me see it. There are no records. So this finishes how to write parameterized queries. Any questions, friends? Parameterized views. Okay. Now I will thank you.